of Article 113(2) of the Constitution and the Standing Order 153 that this House adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the County Government's Additional Allocations Bill, that is National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2024, laid on the table of the House, that is yesterday, Tuesday, 20th February 2024, and approves the mediated version of the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, National Assembly Bill number 23 of 2023. Honorable Speaker, just to give a brief background about the motion before us. Honorable Speaker, last year, this House, after the budget making process around June, passed the County Government's Additional Allocation Bill, the one before us. And Honorable Speaker, of course, given the fact that the counties are devolved units, this bill, therefore, needed to also be transmitted to the Senate. And after we transmitted the same to the Senate, Honorable Speaker, they were either to pass the way it is, and therefore proceed with the signing, and then it becomes an act, or if they had any variations, then it had to come to this House. If we concurred at that moment, then we will have gone ahead again for signing, and it becomes an act. Honorable Speaker, the process usually that when there is variations in terms of opinions between the two houses, as it happened last year, then a mediation committee is formed. Because the proposal by the Senate then, the honorable members of this House felt that they needed to make some changes on them. And making changes, therefore, then that means that the process was not complete, and therefore the next leg of the job was actually to meet between ourselves in this House and also the Senate, so that we mediate and also agree on the issues before us. Honorable Speaker, we did exactly that, and I want to report before you, Honorable Speaker, and this House, that we have worked around the clock. Honorable Speaker, during the festivities, this committee, which was also co-chaired by the Honorable Boni Harware, the MP for Kakamega, and of course with the membership of Honorable Catherine from this House, and Honorable GK, and also the other honorable members from the Senate. Honorable Speaker, over the festivities, we did our best to try and look for a solution. And this is what I would wish that my colleagues here, just to understand as a background. The bill here contains the additional resources that we give to our counties beyond the shareable revenue, Honorable Speaker. It also have conditional grants. For example, the monies that come from other external sources. For example, there is a project called KISIP, which usually targets informal areas, which, Honorable Speaker, actually has a tune of 4.5 billion Kenya shillings in this bill. There is also other funds that come with to targeted sectors. For example, there is a fund called NAGRIP, Honorable Speaker, whose implementation is also done through the county governments. Honorable Speaker, in the same, as we are aware in this House, library services are devolved. But Honorable Speaker, as you usually find across many other sectors and functions that are devolved, some, I would say, for lack of a better word, that they are semi-devolved. That the national government also has a role as much as the county governments has a role. Just the same way we see in agriculture, in health, in water, whereas they are devolved, the national government also has a role to play, which is also pivotal. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, there was funds for the library services, which has been a case previously, and we were able to discard with the matter through this mediation committee, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is actually where the rubber meets the road. And it's important that I bring this to the attention of members. And I am doing this, Honorable Speaker, so that we understand why we actually went for mediation. Honorable Speaker, in every scenario, you look for a tool in your hands to be able to also get what you don't have yet. Honorable Speaker, when this matter came before us, there was another outstanding matter in this House, which we thought was critical for us to handle, using this bill also as a tool. Honorable Speaker, there is something called RMLF. That is the Road Maintenance Levy, Honorable Speaker. Roads Maintenance Levy Fund. Honorable Speaker, this is a very important matter because I'm a member of Parliament for Kiharu, and of course, all the members here who are my colleagues, we are all equal. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, in discharging of our duties, it is important for me to put it very categorically, as the Chairman of Budget and also as the Member of Parliament for Kiharu. I know one thing, Honorable Speaker, that because these members care too much about the Kenyan people, there is no bill that will ever come before this House for members, for example, to deduct funds from NGCDF. And I know that can never happen. Because I'm a member of Parliament and I know the kind of patriotism with my colleagues when it comes to serving the people of Kenya through bursaries and other development programs through NGCDF. There is another second fund, Honorable Speaker, which is very critical for every member of Parliament. There is a semantic called 22%. There is another semantic called 10%. Those semantics are found around something called RMLF. In layman's terms, Honorable Speaker, these are carer funds. Honorable Speaker, as the Chairman of Budget and the co-chair of the mediation team, I had to put the interests of the members of this House and the people of Kenya first. And Honorable Speaker, one thing that is very clear, that when it comes to discharging of the duties, NGCDF stands out as a fund that reaches every village in Kenya through these members, Honorable Speaker. The second thing is that, Honorable Speaker, some of our weather roads, the roads that need to be maintained, there is no better way of discharging that role than passing through the Constituency Roads Committee in our Kera regions. And Honorable Speaker, then, when we went for that mediation committee, those were my reference points, Honorable Speaker. We met with the county COG, Honorable Speaker, and when we met with our colleagues, the COG, who are very magnanimous, we met with the Chair, Honorable Igoro, we met with Honorable Anga, we met with Honorable Sang, and the other governors, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was very categorical to our brothers and sisters that this House supports devolution, and that is why we keep on pumping more resources to our devolved units. But I also told them that when it comes to Kera roads, there are no better people to oversight that money than the members of Parliament, Honorable Speaker. And the reason we did that, Honorable Speaker, is that there was already a case before our courts that had been taken there by other faceless people, Honorable Speaker, but of course, the guests of the members of this House are as good as mine. And therefore, we requested them that for us to continue with the harmony of serving the Kenyan people, and for us to continue the way we've been doing in terms of supporting devolution, we requested them, and they were very magnanimous, that that case had to be withdrawn, Honorable Speaker, because, Honorable Speaker, the court had already gone ahead to inject that we were not to continue, Honorable Speaker, planning for the 22% and the 10% in the year 2024-2025. And Honorable Speaker, we would be seated here. Our constituents would be waiting for us to provide solutions to our roads, Honorable Speaker, but we would have no capacity. Honorable Speaker, I was lucky that when we went to that meeting, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Wanga, who has been also a member of this House, could understand the dynamics. And Honorable Speaker, the reasoning was that in this House, there are things that are sacrosanct. One of them is CDF, because we know it reaches all the villages. And the second is Kera roads. And the Honorable Speaker, after the discussion, without belaboring the point, is that after the many hours of meeting our governors, who are also very good servants of the people of Kenya, we were able to come to a conclusion that the case had to be withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I report here, the case has been withdrawn. And Honorable Speaker, as I study here, the 22% Kera roads, the 10% Kera funds, which amount to Kenya shillings, around roughly 40 million shillings per constituency for 22%, and another 20 million shillings for the 10%. Honorable Speaker, I want to report to my colleagues that that fund is now firmly back to our oversight. And therefore, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank all these members of this House. We gained a lot of wisdom by the interactions we get. And I consulted many of them so that, Honorable Speaker, we enrich the debate. And that is why the conclusion has been to the favor of the people of Kenya generally. Because the members here do not act on their own behalf. They act purposely because they are very patriotic and they mind about our roads, they mind about our development, and I want to laud all the members of the National Assembly in the 13th Parliament. Honorable Speaker, I want to wind up by saying that we have also been able to grant our governors the access to the funds. We have also suspended, Honorable Speaker, the parts of the law that could have handicapped them in terms of accessing this additional allocation, Honorable Speaker. I want to thank all our governors. They are very magnanimous. They are also servants as we are. And Honorable Speaker, we wish them the best even as they continue discharging the other roles through the other funds that we appropriate in this House. Honorable Speaker, I would wish to request the Vice Chairperson of the Budget and Appropriations Committee, the Honorable Mary Amase, to second this motion. Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. For reasons